Transparency engaged. Okay. All right. Call this meeting to order. First thing we have to do is approve the minutes of December 14th.
I had one change. I already told Maureen about it. It was under the fire report. Should have been the certified letter went out to Summer Hill, not Moravia. And I believe she's already made that change.
Very good.
So barring that, I make a motion to accept the minutes as amended.
I'll second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
All right. Next up is authorization of the payment of the bills.
Oh, what the heck? I'll make a motion that we authorize the payment of the bills.
I signed them out. Second.
All right, Kevin seconds. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Very good. Next up, approve the treasurer's report.
Come on, Patrick.
Oh, I thought Tanya was going to talk about it. That's
Oh, okay.
Might as well do the trifecta.
yeah. Tanya, did you have anything you wanted to say about it?
Not really. It was a pretty busy month because we also finished the budget proposal. So, and that's the next thing. So
I make a motion that we accept the village treasurer's report as written.
Second.
All right, any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
All right. Next up is Tanya's budget presentation. Take it away.
Hal, did you want to let the recycling guy go first, or?
Yeah, if you want, if you're all right with that.
Mine's pretty long. That's why.
Okay, sure. All right, so we're going to jump ahead to new business item A. Cortland County Recycling Coordinator, Chris, and I'm not even gonna try. Chris something or other.
Spadolini.
Spadolini. That was a good one,
Yep.
try, but all right. Chris is here to kind of go over what's going on down at the recycling center, knowing that we've been problem children here in the village of Homer, having some trouble doing the right thing. So hopefully maybe your presentation, and I did get your flyer earlier. I think that that's really helpful. We'll definitely send a version of that out to everyone in the village.
Great.
I'll turn it over to you.
Great, thank you. Thank you for inviting me. Probably the biggest thing that we've noticed, like it's not your fault that there's a problem with the recycling. It's the haulers. It's the way we do things. They're trying to cut expenses, and by using that tote system, it becomes very difficult to police what goes into those bins. And prior to me taking this position, there had been no recycling coordinator at the facility for close to 2 years. And that tends to breed a lot of problems because everybody was kind of, for lack of a better phrase, taking advantage of the place because no one was policing what was going in there. And then recycling has really gotten quite complex. It's not as simple as it used to be. It's gotten to be like a commodities market now. And even though items might be considered recyclable, if a processor doesn't want that stuff to recycle, then it's not recyclable. It has to go to the landfill, and the DEC allows that. I'll go over a few things, some of the more common items like glass. I know glass is a big concern because people don't understand what's going on with glass. At this time, glass is not recyclable. However, we take the glass at the recycling center. It has to be brought directly to our facility. It can't be put into the recycling bins because it has to be kept separate from our recycling stream. We take the glass, we crush it up, we use it for landfill cover per DEC guidelines. The landfill has to be capped every night to prevent debris from blowing away. So we take that glass and we crush it and we use it there, but it has to be brought to us separately. It can't go in the bins. Another big confusion area is plastics. Everyone assumes that if it's plastic, it's recyclable. Well, it's not the case anymore. And also, if it has that little recycling chasing arrows logo on it, It's not recyclable. The only thing that is recyclable is plastics that have that chasing arrow symbol with the numbers 1 or number 2 inside. At this time, those are the only plastics that are recyclable. Anything else, plastic totes, kids' toys, lawn furniture, anything that's plastic is not recyclable because our processors don't have a source to get rid of the stuff. So they throw it out, anything that goes to them. If we send it to them, they charge us $65 a ton to get rid of it. So we would prefer not to get the stuff in, simply for that reason, because there's no, if it's going to the landfill anyway. And a lot of people think that these are Cortland County rules, like Cortland County is being difficult, and that's not the case. It's a nationwide issue. Nobody wants the stuff right now because it's too expensive to recycle it into something else. So the number 1 and number 2 plastics are the only thing that's being recycled right now. Same thing with metals. Metal containers like food containers, tins, that sort of thing is recyclable, but all other metals are not. You can't bring a scrap metal and, you know, silverware and lawn furniture and car parts. That stuff is not recycled. Same thing with paper and cardboard. Most everything there is recyclable. Cardboard, we like to see the cardboard flattened. We like to see it where there's no packing materials. The styrofoam is not recyclable. We get in tons of that stuff. Can't recycle styrofoam, sorry. The bubble wrap, all that stuff needs to be removed from there and disposed of in your regular trash. Now we do have, I did notice that the Village of Homer has a nice website. They got a lot of information on there pertaining to recycling. Your Facebook page is nice. Cortland County Recycling Center has its own Facebook that has a lot of good information on there. And now that the recycling center has a voice, we encourage you to call because you will get a live voice that can answer some of these questions. We have cut down considerably the amount of trash that we've had to take to the landfills. When I first came into the position the 1st of October, we were taking about 15 tons every month to the landfill. Since that time, November has dropped to 8.41 tons. December dropped to 6.06 tons. So we're making a difference, but we need to, it's the haulers that use those totes are the biggest problems. And I understand that they need to cut expenses because they can do that job with 1 guy rather than 3. And I know Dan, and I think it was Patrick, came to our facility and saw what we were doing there, and they saw the contamination. And a lot of the contamination is from people who just, for one reason or another, don't care. They throw whatever they want in there. We were getting lawn debris, clothing, bedding, styrofoam, electronics, animal feces, hard plastic, household garbage, everything. And that's just the people that don't care. The other half is it is an education issue because it has gotten so specific with the types of plastics and the types of metals. And that's why we started the Facebook page to encourage people. Give us a call. We'll guide you. We'll point you in the right direction. It's the best way to do it is to give us a call because the rules are always changing. At some point, the plastics, the chasing arrow logo is numbered 1 through 7. There's actually 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7 plastics that are not recyclable at this time, but may become recyclable in the future if someone develops a market for it. So we do, request that you or encourage you to get a hold of us and ask questions. That's the best thing. If you guys have any questions, I'll take some questions now too. That's just kind of an overview of what we got. That flyer is posted on our Facebook and you guys are going to be distributing it too. It's a great flyer. If you read through it, it's pretty thorough, covers most everything. There's always going to be some little thing that blurs the lines a little bit, but for the most part, that flyer really gives you a good guideline. But yeah, if you guys have any questions at all, I'll
No, I think Patrick, you had a question, didn't you, on the flyer, on the newspaper?
No, I didn't. I don't think I did.
I think
Maybe
Dan
it was
messaged
Ed.
me earlier today. Was that about the plastic bag?
That must have been Dan.
Correct, yes, yes.
Yeah,
Chris,
the
thanks.
plastic bag thing. That's one of those line blurring rules. There's no other way to get the shredded paper to us without making a mess. other than plastic bags. So we got to kind of stretch the rule on that. It's very easy to tell whether or not there's, shredded paper in those bags. So we have to kind of force ourselves to accept those bags under those conditions because we don't really have any other option short of letting it just dump all over the floor and get wet and blow all over the place. So we had to kind of bend the rules there, but it's pretty easy to tell whether or not those bags contain shredded paper. And a lot of that shredded paper comes from commercial sources, not the general public anyway. So that kind of helps us keep track of it.
Very good. Ed, I see you have a question.
Yeah, I do. And it's probably dumb like most of my questions, I guess. But anyhow, why or who, a congressman, now pick one, pick some. Why do we have so much plastic out there that can't be recycled? Why don't they make rules for every other darn thing? Why don't they just say all plastic has to be recyclable, or you can't use it for making toys or anything else? It's either got to be biodegradable or it's got to be recyclable or done.
Right.
I could care less. Plastic stuff, I use it, but we're having such an issue, and I know we're not alone. This whole country's got this problem. Is there any congressman we could send $100 to or talk to or send a letter to say, hey, let's do a national something on making sure plastics, because it's pollution. And we want to be environmentally good, but we can't.
Right. I agree with you 100%. So, the plastics, the 1 through 7s, those numbers dictate the type of resin that the plastic is made of. And again, because everything is so tied to money and profits, if a certain plastic, the cost to get that plastic, bale it up and send it to a processor, and then for the processor to melt it down and do whatever they do to make something out of it, is more expensive than what they can sell that finished product for. So that's when they say, well, it's no longer recyclable.
I understand that.
I wish there was something we could do.
So you don't know of any congressman that says, hey, everything's got to be out of 1 or 2, or don't even bother making it or bringing it into New York State?
I don't at this point, but that's something that I will definitely research to see if there's somebody we can contact because it really should be standardized. Before I came into this position, to me, plastic was plastic, but I've learned quite a bit about it and the costs that it takes to separate the different chemicals and everything. And again,
we shouldn't have to do that.
Right. It's a profit thing. That's what it always boils down to, is if somebody can't make money on it, then it becomes trash. And that's not what recycling is supposed to be about.
I agree. And therefore we probably need to do some environmental, talking to somebody who might pass some kind of law. I mean, hey, look where we came. We used to dump oil into the rivers and stuff, and we stopped all that. And we say, my God, what were we thinking? So here's another thing. What are we thinking about having all this stupid plastic you can't recycle?
I know. It has to be. We have to figure out a way to get it all into the recycling stream.
So anyhow, your mission is to find somebody that would listen to that argument, or just tell me to go away, which is fine too.
No, I like all the input I can get. I will see if I can track down somebody that can give us any kind of guidance for the future as to what's going to happen with this stuff, because we're still throwing out more than we're recycling.
We'll get people to write letters, that kind. If we can get something started, I'm sure people would get behind some congressional, because I'm pretty sure it has to be national. Can't be New York State only. I mean, we've already cut off gas to new homes. That's going to ruin a lot of home building. But anyhow, hey, okay, over.
Any other questions for Chris from the board? How about the media? You guys, I see a couple of folks from the media on. Do you guys have any questions for him while he's here?
I'm all set. Thank you.
All right. All right. Very good. Thank you very much, Chris. I appreciate it.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Yeah, thanks for coming out, Chris.
All right. Thank you.
All right. Now moving back over to you, Tanya.
Okay, can you hear me? I kind of
Barely.
had a shut down my screen. And can you see the presentation?
Yeah,
Okay. So this is the proposed budget for fiscal year 2022.
We can't see it.
No.
Okay. Let me hit end. So I hit share screen. Let me see. Can you see it this way?
No.
I don't know why it's not. Right, let me go into the PDF I sent earlier. Maybe that will work. It doesn't like PowerPoint, I'm guessing.
we're not passing the budget tonight. We're just presenting it to the public. So just give us the headlines and we've already looked at it. And so give it to the public.
There we go.
There we go.
All right, we got it now.
Yay. Okay. So basically, this is the fiscal year budget proposed for 2022 to 2023. I'm not running it through the live slideshow because it's not coming up. So I'm just going to click on each screen here. For the sewer fund, we're starting with, you'll see we have revenue up. The special assessment is our debt fees that are collected. The sewer rents are our largest revenue, and you'll see, if you see the notes there, they're $582,020. Most of the revenue comes from the sewer rents charged. Approximately $85,000 comes from intergovernment here. That is actually from the school in town of Cortlandville, because we service Cortlandville residents. And then we have a couple hundred in interest earned each year. You come back to the expenditures. Most of it, again, is actually in providing sewer service. That's the home and community services. The general government is the administration of it. That's the insurances, any of our admin hours on it. We have employee benefits and a small debt service fee, which comes from the project that was just completed. When you come back here, you see the revenue and expenditures for the sewer fund total $678,670. Our largest expense in the sewer fund is actually the wastewater treatment plant services, which are anticipated to be at least $360,000. And you'll see under the new rate, we're projected to get $575,020 with users. The difference in that $5,000 was penalties to the $580 that you saw earlier. And then the government users are approximately $84,500. So that's our sewer fund. For the water fund is next. You will see again, almost all of the expenses are in the home and community services. That's providing the water services and maintaining all the infrastructure. Again, we have roughly $9,000 in government admin. That's our insurances to cover everything if it breaks, which was a good thing since lightning hit it last year. And we needed the insurance. We have employee benefits. And here we have a water tank debt. And we have that for a number of years subsequently. The revenue from this mostly comes from special assessments, which actually equals exactly the debt. It's roughly $38,000. Home and community services is next, and that is roughly $331,000, and then we get a couple hundred in interest. So the revenue and expenditures are $369,588, with our largest revenue is metered water sales for $320,000. That's almost all the users. So you'll see both of these funds pay for themselves, and there is money going into reserves for subsequent improvements in each of these funds. Any questions on the water or sewer funds?
Tandy, do we know when the water tank will be paid off, the debt service on that?
It's roughly 7 more years.
Okay, thank you.
So the general fund is next, and we'll start with expenditures. These are the main categories. You'll see we have the general government support, that's the mayor, board of trustees, the village offices, and it's roughly $478,000. Public safety is our fire department, our police department, our dog catcher, at $1,051,000. Transportation is all the services that DPW does. That's $937,000 anticipated. Culture and rec is most of our recreation is here. We have some small small programs in here for aging, but it's primarily recreation. It's $185,895. Home and community services is where our codes is. It's also where any of our grant developments are here. We also have the cemetery in here, and that's $587,726. This includes a couple grants for the dam and salt shed. We also were talking about the comp plan in here. We have employee benefits for $480,000, and the debt service fee here is roughly just under $27,000. This is for the fire truck. We're into our last 2.5 years of paying on the fire truck.
Tanya,
So
where does
we have
the Tanya, where does the garbage go under? Is that under transportation?
Nope, that's under home and community services.
Okay, thank you.
So our general fund here, our revenue is next and reserves because we've had some reserves that are being used for grants or sales of equipment to replace new ones. So you'll see we start with taxes, and it's a 0.05% on the taxes increase, bringing it to $1,361,427. We also have some real property, non-property tax items. This is where your sales taxes, your penalties are here, the pilot programs. This is $870,700. Department income is $250,375. This is where our SROs are charged, along with vital statistics. This is our small police income also goes here. The intergovernmental charges are $358,918. Use of money is really low. This is money that we get for bingo, for interest. That's there. Sale of equipment, we usually average at least $20,000 because we turn in cars and vehicles after so many years and replace them. So we turn them in before the value goes low. Our miscellaneous revenue is where we get all our donations. We already know we're going to have another one for a bench in there next year, a memorial bench, so that will be there. We have state and federal aid. In here, this is our CHIP fund. We also have a large amount for the dam and salt shed projects for the state. And then we have some reserves of $195,000, which I'll go through on the next slide. So you'll see our total expenditures are $3,746,288. Revenue is $3,550,768, with our reserves planned to be $195,520. We planned $130,000 on the dam and salt shed, same as last year. The grants or the contracts got approved late, so we're starting them in next fiscal year. We sold a police car to use on replacing it for this year's budget. That's the 19.3. We sold some equipment in DPW and are using that on the leaf. We're getting a leaf blower to go around the village that actually will also help in composting. And then we have $16,220 on the fire station that we pay each year.
Tanya, the fire station, that's more for the Plymouth event system, correct?
Yep, exactly.
Thank you.
So some other items to note in the budget. The village is planning $10,000 or up to $10,000 for an LED sign in front of the fire station. That's been looked for years. We are replacing a police vehicle, as mentioned before. That's part of our maintenance plan. For the fire department, we're going to continue purchasing 10 pairs of turnout gear and depositing $139,000 into reserves for future fire truck replacement, fire truck repairs, or personal protective gear replacement. The fire station itself is getting $33,370 in improvements, payment on debt, and paving. That's supply vent, but we're also doing maintenance on that system. We're also paving the parking area. It's the sealant on the parking area. And there's some internal work that's being done by one of our contractors. For DPW, they're getting $100,000, which is the final amount needed to purchase the large plow that we've been saving for, and then the $40,000 for the leaf blower. And then if you keep going, you'll see we have, as I mentioned before, the New York State grants for the dam and salt shed. We'll be using $130,000 plus the grants to complete those projects. The comp plan is needing update. So in this current year, we put in $10,000 in reserve. In next year's budget, we'll have $20,000 to give us enough to do the comp plan. For recreation, we continued the contracts and our agreements with the town of Homer and Cortland both agreed to continue getting service by the village for their residents. Beautification funds were included for Main Street and Route 11 for the first time as planned. We did add some last year. That also includes the replacement or changing of some trees in Main Street.
Shouldn't that be 281, Tanya?
Oh, yeah. No, it should be 281 instead of 11. You're correct. And then,
Thank you.
Yeah, no problem. And CHIP funds, we leave at the previous year until we know. So which is always $105,000. We match the revenue. If we get more, then we do a budget adjustment. And this is all for funds for fixing roads. And the revenue and the expense on that always match. So from all of this, the taxable figures per 1,000 actually slightly go down because the assessed value went up. So for Homer Cortlandville, it was 9.768 last year, and then next year will be 9.706502. For those that live in Homer, not in Cortlandville, will be 9.066513, down from 9.151525. And that is our proposed budget.
Great job as always, Tanya.
Yeah, really great job.
Yeah.
I like it.
I think it's a great budget. All right. So that will be voting on next week, right?
Yeah, as long as the public hearing was in the paper and it just has to be approved down further.
Right. Very
Because
good.
it's a special meeting.
All righty. Next up, sports, starting with cemetery.
Hello.
Hey, Jim. How's it going?
There wasn't a whole lot going on this past month. Obviously, we're down at the DPW. A couple of bodies went into the vault, and we're still waiting for the how much it's going to cost, hopefully, to get our electric fixed and all that. So nothing's changed. We're supposed to be hearing back about that this coming Friday. Approximately how much it's going to cost to run the new electric and whatnot. So
To run the new electric to the existing building, or to run it with the possible new building?
probably with the possible new building.
Okay.
I don't know. I think either way, it's going to be about the same anyways, because they're going to run it the same way. So all the way over from the top and down the hill. So,
I mean, I think it makes sense to look at putting a new building in. Would that be, well, I don't know. It probably wouldn't be incredibly easier to get to for someone to coming there unless they came Wolf Road, right?
it'd be a lot easier to find because, yeah,
Yeah.
for some reason, some people have a problem finding the center of the cemetery. So,
Yeah.
because there's roads that go up both sides of the hill, and that's where it'll be, is up on top of the hill. So
Yeah.
that's what we're proposing anyways.
I think that'd be good. For the other trustees, we talked about this in the department head meeting Monday, but given the electrical woes and the age of the building that they're in now, and the fact that it's inexplicably straddles a creek, we're thinking it makes sense to put in a new building up at the top of the hill. And it really wouldn't be a whole lot. Yeah, we've got you see the numbers in the report there. Yeah. So it's really just down to how much it would be to run the electric, and we're going to have to run the electric one way or the other. This way we would bury it for sure.
No pun intended.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, the thing is from Bob Beard Electric, he told us that it would save us a lot of woes down the road, as far as trees falling, limbs falling, taking out electrical wires and stuff. And so it'd save a lot of repair costs in the future. So we won't worry about it in our lifetimes again. So
right. And it'll look nice. Yep. So, all right.
Timmy, everything's underground now, right?
As much as you could possibly do, yeah. They're doing more and more and more of it every year, that's for sure.
Yeah, just makes sense.
Yep.
All right. Very good. Anybody have any questions for Jim before we? No? All right. Do we have a motion to accept?
I'll make that motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right. And I'm going to actually jump back out of reports, and I see Fred on, and I don't want to hold him up if he's got things to do. So I'm going to move privilege to the floor to right now and see, Fred, have you got anything for us tonight?
Can you hear me all right?
We can.
All right. I did have a chance last week to talk to Phil about the snow plowing issue. And it was really great that I did that. I think I got his take on it. And so we've just got to work through but he suggested having all the cars parked in the back of the lot on the north side. So maybe some cones, and then just got to be some education. So I think we worked through that. Obviously, our January meeting is normally our where we do all our appointments. And then we did go ahead and vote to pass the law to opt out of the solar. So we will move forward. We opted out of, I believe they call it the 487. So
okay.
Gives us more flexibility in taxing decisions. And we did pass that a week ago, and we'll just be moving forward with Cortlandville and Solon, try to negotiate what we can. It's very difficult because the state keeps changing what they're going to allow the assessors to assess it for. So it's almost a moving target. At best, it's been a very difficult year with all the meetings to try to hammer something out. But hopefully at the end of the day, we'll get what's best for the town, which includes the village. So we'll just have to see where we go. But Other than that, I don't have a lot, Hal, but I mean, I'm certainly open to if anybody has any questions.
Ed's got one, I see.
Fred, you know me, I'm always thinking about something. So what, you don't have to tell me, but is the town got some ideas on what they're gonna do with their ARP money?
We've talked about nothing other than if we could possibly use it for infrastructure or bridge. And that's the other thing I forgot to mention is that we got turned down for that bridge again. And we promptly got a call from somebody that's been in the business their lifetime and said that there's an awful lot of money in the Bridge New York Fund and that we should not have got turned down. So we are following through with that. That should have been in my, of course, I didn't know that till after our board meeting and there was a newspaper article. So.
Well, I've always wanted to take your lenticular bridge and move it someplace and save it. But anyhow, okay, let me come in and talk with you sometime because I still have to work with you on our police department development or whatever it is. So I'm still waiting for somebody to email me to set up a meeting or something. But I'll talk to you about it. I got some ideas.
All right. I've got lots of them too. So we'll, I think it'll be a very good meeting when we can sit down and talk.
Now you let me know because I'm retired. I can make about anything.
All right. Well, I get up at 4, so we can have an early meeting, right?
I get up at 6, so my dog has to go out at 6. So anytime after 6 for me, but I could make an exception at 4. Well, I have gone to the DPW one time to go ride with them at 4 a.m. and they half killed me, but I did it. It was very enlightening.
But we will get together, Ed.
All right, good. Talk to you soon then.
All right. Thanks for the privilege of the floor.
Thanks, Fred. Thanks for coming. And I wish I had some better news about the solar, but I think it's going to continue to be a moving target. We're back in session now in Albany, and I'm sure there's going to be a lot of changes and new laws that we'll have to figure out how to navigate. So, but as those come up, I'll let you know.
All right. I greatly appreciate it, Hal.
Very good. Thank you.
All right. Yep. Good night.
Good night.
All right. Now back to the reports, and we're on to codes.
Tanya, Dan, I know we had there was an email about one of our residents wasn't getting through on the report of problem. Do you know if that's been resolved?
Which one? Oh, go ahead.
It was the one reporting the parking on the lawn, right?
Yeah, the lawn and some other issues on
Yeah,
the same street.
Yeah, those all came through.
And Kevin has them, I know. And Kevin.
Yeah, she reported.
They're not giving the person who puts them in a receipt like they used to.
Okay. All right.
I did tell her. She emailed me after, and Kevin is working on those. And then in a couple of weeks, I would check back to see if there's any more issues or any more to let her know.
Right.
And I'll talk to Dean about the report of problem for the website.
Thank you.
That was the only question I had on codes.
All right. Anybody else have anything else on codes here?
I'll make a motion to accept the report as written.
I'll second.
Discussion, all in favor?
Aye.
Unanimous, very good. Moving forward now to the dog report. Looks like a pretty small one again.
I'll make a motion that we accept the dog report.
Second.
Discussion, all in favor?
Aye.
Hey,
Very good. Okey doke. Streets and parks. Got a long one here.
Phil, any highlights?
One of the big highlights is the beautification committee would be happy. All the planter boxes are, they've all been actually refaced, new bottoms put in them, insides, and completely painted. And they're all back over to Arnold's Florist now, so they can put their styrofoam and stuff in the bottom of them.
So while we're on that subject, Phil, I says, it looks like you got all the ones for Main Street, right? What about the ones for 281?
Yeah, we gotta work on that, yeah, Kevin.
Well, how can we help move along and make some progress?
Well, we need to
Tell
get
me what I
together.
can do.
Yeah, we need to know exactly how many and all that, and we'll get the dimensions together, and that'd be great. Get another nice little project like that going.
Okay.
Seeing we ain't getting much snow, so we're catching up on some stuff, so.
Evan, we need another beautification committee meeting because
Absolutely.
they wanted to make sure the design was set.
Yes,
Okay,
we want to be fairly
So,
consistent.
Yeah, if you want, I can call them tomorrow and come up with some dates with her and then call you.
Awesome. Thanks.
All right. Anything else, DPW? Anything else for Phil?
I make a motion that we accept the DPW report as written.
Discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Unanimous, good. Thanks, Phil. All righty. Fire inspector we got here. Pretty simple.
Yep.
I'll make a motion that we accept the fire inspector report as written.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right. Next up, fire department.
Chief
Chief, how's
Hayes,
it
you-
going?
yeah. You muted yourself, Steve.
Yeah, someday I'll figure this out.
How's the transition gone with Summer Hill leaving?
We haven't been dispatched at all for anything, so I would think it went smooth.
All right, very good.
You guys have been busy.
Yeah, last night was tough.
I like in your report, the Homer Fire Department is not a chimney cleaning service.
You're not.
That's a fact.
Yeah, that's basically just implying that if we do show up for a chimney fire, that don't think that since we were there, everything is fine and you don't need to have somebody come out.
Right.
Well, if they'd had it inspected in the first place, you would have had to come out.
Well, I will say this, and this kind of strikes home to me because I've had the privilege of having Homer Fire Department out to my residents. Even as Chief Hayes here says, even like for me, I have my chimney professionally chimney swept every year prior to the heating season. And despite that, because of the cooler temperatures as the gases go up, the creosote does still accumulate more than it used to with hotter temperatures, as Chief puts in here. And especially with like today's stoves are so efficient, the exhaust is much cooler. So, I do a chimney sweep, I do the creosote logs, but even then, we may have to start looking at chimney sweeping twice a year just to keep it safe. Trust me, it's a lot cheaper than losing a house.
Well, it would be.
Second.
Chief, you guys got so much going on. I'm gonna just some of the highlights. Congratulations to Daniel Levitsky and Jennifer Parker. So you guys have gained an interior and an exterior firefighter. That's awesome, especially with trying so hard to get volunteers to have 2 more trained. That's awesome. And congratulations to them.
All right. Do we have anything else for Chief Hayes?
I make a motion that we accept the fire chief's report as written.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, unanimous. Uh,
Chief, you guys are too modest this month. I know you guys were busy with Santa Claus and all sorts of things.
You try to keep busy.
You do. Between the calls and the trainings, I know you guys are very busy. If you want to hold on, we can jump down to item D, the applicant to the fire department,
Okay.
and review and vote on that. I reviewed it. Looks good to me. I don't know.
Same here. I didn't have any problem. It's good to have somebody in the village.
I'll make a motion that we accept Jeremy Fellows as a member of the Homer Fire Department.
Second.
Kevin seconds. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, unanimous.
Does
All
he
right.
go by Jamie at all?
I've only seen him once. I haven't officially met him. He was
Tim, I think that's somebody totally different.
Yeah,
Okay.
I do too.
Thank you. I was wondering.
his mother's a member.
Very good. All right. Thanks, Chief. You can stay on or jump off, whichever you prefer. I just wanted to get that vote done for you before.
All right, I appreciate that. My battery's dying.
All right, next up, we've
His
got,
chief's report didn't make it to the packet. I just resent it. He did send it to everyone earlier, previous, so
Yeah.
apologies for that.
no problem. I looked through it when you got it the first time. Chief, anything you want to highlight?
No.
Again, we're doing a lot of stops, which means you guys are busier than get out, so.
Yep.
be
We did
careful.
have a resignation on the 5th.
Yeah,
You guys were aware of.
Yep.
Started the interview process again on Friday. So hopefully we can get somebody that's true to their word and looking to stay,
Yep, that would be good. And yeah, no, I know they do a decent amount of stops, Ed, but I'll tell you, it's
well, they're appropriate.
it's people speed too much.
They're appropriate.
Yeah, yeah. Probably not down Warren. They probably don't speed as much down Warren as they do.
You get a few, even a school bus goes pretty fast.
Yeah, but they're clipping when they go by me. All right. Anything else for Chief Pittman?
Make a motion that we accept the police report
Just
as written.
one last thing, Chief, is we got to do coffee with a cop pretty quick.
I'm looking, probably I'll get together with you, probably not this Saturday, but the following Saturday.
Okay, we'll see what happens. We got to talk first.
Yep, you tell me what works, you tell me what works best for you, but you get a hold of me, all right?
All right, thanks.
All right. So Ed seconds. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All right. Unanimous. Very good. All right. Moving on to recreation. I don't see Zach. I'm sure he's at a basketball function or some sort of a basketball thing right now. Haven't had to quarantine anybody yet, which is amazing, but
Yeah, really.
still going forward.
I'll make a motion to accept the rec report as written.
Tim seconds. All in favor?
Aye.
All right. Unanimous. All right. Water and sewer. Let's see here.
It amazes me that people can get clothing down into the sewer.
I don't.
It has to be intentional.
Clinton Street Pump Station, the Fulton Street Pump Station again.
I don't understand flushing clothes down the toilet. It's I don't know. But then again, my nephew used to literally flush everything he could down the toilet when he was like 2. He would throw anything in there and flush it. So maybe that's something like that going on, but
I
hopefully.
don't know, Buzz, you find any toys in there?
Well, actually, yes, we have.
Yeah. All right. Well, I'll give you his address. All right. Very good. Looks like obviously you guys keep him busy. Anything you want to highlight? Anyone have any questions for Buzz?
I do.
All right, Ed.
I thought his underwater truck washing gizmo was absolutely fabulous. I got to go over and watch it in action. And you ought to see the dirt and rock salt and everything fall out of the bottom of those trucks. So because of his little invention, his trucks look great. And after seeing it work, I could, see why washing them every day really makes a difference. I couldn't believe how much dirt fell out of the underneath his truck when he showed me how he worked it. It's a nice little tool. It's really
Can trustees
cool.
bring their cars over too, Buzz?
Well, I imagine they could, but we'd all get fired.
What is this contraption?
It's on a wheel with a rod, and you hook the hose under it, and he just rolls it right under, and it blows up underneath. It's kind of like going to a car wash. And it goes underneath. It works great. And he made it out of some copper tubing and a wheel and a little. It was great.
Hey, Buzz, if you
I was
made
really
that,
impressed.
you need to patent it.
No
Yeah.
doubt.
Well, I thought about that,
You
actually,
should.
but yeah, but what you seen drops out of there, Ed, it's every day. That's that much stuff every day.
Unbelievable. So I know my truck is just rotting away then, because I don't do it.
Well, when you're ready to patent it, Buzz, I have a friend that works for the patent office, and I'll put you in touch with him.
That'll be good. It'll be good.
You can make a ton of money, because I'll tell you, I'd buy one.
You're gonna need some investors too, Buzz.
Yeah, yeah. Well, let me get the money first, and
Okay.
yeah, everything's pretty good. I hate to even mention, but we haven't had no main breaks, so I probably just jinxed myself. But
That we knocked on wood. We're good.
okay, that's good. Besides that, everything's great.
Yeah. Oh, good. Very good. All right.
I'll make a motion, we accept his report as written.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Unanimous. All right. Thanks, Buzz.
Thank you, guys.
Okay, so we did trash talk. Next up, appoint the village board of trustees as the lead agency for the seeker. Classify the action as type 2 and complete the short form for Paul Suits's annexation property. Danny, you gonna walk us through this?
All the form is filled out. You can see that it's done. It
I
just needs your
see.
signature, but if you guys will vote to put yourself as lead agency to do the secret process, and then take a look at the form. We can walk through it if you want. It's all type 2 action, which is of no impact. So it's pretty straightforward.
Yep. No, I think we're good. Do we have a motion to appoint ourselves as lead agency for this?
I make a motion that we appoint the village board of trustees as lead agency for the seeker action.
Second.
Kevin seconds. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All right. Very good.
Just need your signature, Mayor, and it's all done.
Very good. I will get that signed for you. All right. Let's see. The next up is to approve a public hearing January 18th for the budget approval. We just need a motion on that.
I'll make
I'm-
that motion.
I'll second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Unanimous? Good. Next up, we did the fire department member. All right. The next up is the mask guidelines. And I know Tanny did send those out earlier. They didn't make the packet though, I don't think.
Mayor, can I interrupt you for a second?
Nope.
Well, happy New Year, everybody. Sorry for interrupting. Did you classify it as a type 2 action or an unlisted action? The speaker.
Type
Type
2.
2.
Okay. I'm pretty sure it's an unlisted action and we have to go through the short form for that item. Not to bring this to everybody's attention right now, but Dan, did you see it listed as a type 2 action? I thought I went over the type 2 and
Yeah, I thought it was type 2. If that's my error, then apologies again. I'm 2 for 2.
I believe it's an unlisted action, which means they have to just go through the short form and answer all the questions there to make a determination. I might have communicated that in my email too. I'm not sure, but I'm pretty positive it's an unlisted action. There's
What?
3 types of actions under seeker. Type 1, which does have a big impact. Type 2, which you don't really, it has a 0 impact, and then unlisted, which is where the majority of actions fall. And if it's an unlisted, you do have to make the determination under seeker. There's a questionnaire you have to go through and answer some questions on.
Oh, they have it in front of them, so if they would like to go through it.
Let's go through it.
Yep.
Thanks. Sorry, guys.
No, that's okay. Thanks, Dante.
That's why you're there.
Catch.
That's why we hire you.
But the questionnaire was completed from what I saw on the report.
But
Well,
Dan,
yeah,
Those
We're-
are my recommendations, yes.
yeah, we're just gonna go through and answer them one at a time now. So go ahead, Dan, if you want to lead us through it.
Yep, I'll just read it off. Question 1, will the proposed action create a material conflict with an adopted land use plan or zoning regulations?
no,
No,
Will the proposed action result in the change in the use or intensity of use of land?
no,
no,
Will the proposed action impair the character or quality of the existing community?
no,
no,
Will the proposed action have an impact on the environmental characteristics that caused the establishment of a critical environmental area?
no,
no,
Will the proposed action result in an adverse change in the existing level of traffic or affecting existing infrastructure for mass transit, biking, or walkway?
no,
Will the proposed action cause an increase in the use of energy and if fails to incorporate reasonably available energy conservation or renewable energy opportunities?
no,
no,
Will the proposed action impact existing A, public-private water supplies,
no,
no,
or B, public-private wastewater treatment utilities?
no,
no,
Number 8, will the proposed action impair the character or quality of important historical, archaeological, architectural, or aesthetic resources?
no,
no,
Will the proposed action result in the adverse change to natural resources? Example, wetlands, water bodies, groundwater, air quality, flora, or fauna?
no,
no,
Will the proposed action result in an increase in the potential for erosion, flooding, or drainage problems?
no,
Number 11, will the proposed action create a hazard to environmental resources or human health?
no.
All right. Just mayor's signature again, and we'll get this filed.
All right.
okay,
Well, if you guys could just give a positive or a negative declaration too at the end there. A positive declaration is a declaration that you think it has a significant environmental impact, and negative would be the opposite of that.
I make a motion that we state that this is a negative declaration.
second,
All in favor?
Aye.
Unanimous. I'm always tread carefully because the way they word those things is counterintuitive.
Yeah, it's negative, bad, or
Yeah.
good. Sometimes it's confusing.
Yeah. Okie dokie. We did the fire department application. All right. The next is the change to extend the mask requirement for all employees and volunteers until February 1st, 2022 to comply with the New York State order. And part of this is if you're right, Tanya, is this where we can talk about the testing and the vaccination stuff?
The personnel policies went to executive
Okay.
because they affect each person and some other pieces of each person. But here, we have a face mask policy, and right now it's to January 15th, although it says that you or Pat could extend it if there's government ones extending it. But since it's not in between, it came to the board to extend it to the 1st to meet with Hatchell's mandate.
Got it. All right. So we just need a simple vote on that then.
I'll make a motion, we accept the state rules and apply them to the village.
Tim seconds, all in favor?
Aye.
Unanimous. Okay, good. Next up, review the garbage and recycling requirements. All right.
There's a flyer in there that would be sent out to everybody based on, Maureen and Donna worked really hard on it based on everybody's phone calls. So it's kind of what we already had, but with some adjustments.
Yep, I'm reading it right now. Let's see here.
After our water billing, a lot of residents came in asking for clarification on different things and for items that were in the Homer News on the
Right.
snow piece.
Well, that's good. At least we know some people are paying attention. All right. Yep. So we should, when we send this out, we should send the flyer that we got from Chris out as well. Yeah, this looks great.
The other question that keeps coming up is how many cans each are going to be allowed to have, which if we're not ready to say that, that's okay. But when we do, we need a couple months to implement that.
Yeah, I'm not sure that we're ready to say that yet. I think we still have to talk about it because there's still some, I don't know. It's a thorny issue still.
I think we're just not ready to roll out quite yet.
Yeah.
Right.
All right. Yeah, I think these guidelines look great.
And the only thing I'd like to add though is just because somebody gets away with it 1 week and they get tagged the next week, I mean, we don't have a single person that's going around every day. So just
Right.
because somebody gets away with it one time doesn't mean that it's okay. It just means that they got away with it this time, though. You know, they're still liable to get caught the next time.
Exactly. All right. I think those look good. We don't think we need to vote on this, right?
Dante?
No, it's just what the board wants to, making sure it's what the board wants done.
Yep, I think it looks great.
I've already turned in my ideas about the can, so whenever we want to discuss that, executive or whatever, that's fine with me.
Yeah, but you're on the right track, Ed. I agree.
Well, you know, I don't know. It's up for discussion.
Makes sense.
I thought it did.
All right. The next up is to approve the payroll schedule for this year.
So you will see we have the split payroll at February 28th that we have every year. There's also for the police SROs that come back, we actually pay them 1 week for the first week, then the next week, that's the September exception, why you see two. And then it details the quarterly, so the quarterly payroll recipients know when they're paid.
Got it. Looks good to me.
I'll make a motion that we accept the 2022, January 2022 to December 2022 payroll schedule.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Unanimous. Good. All right. Next up, budget adjustments.
They're constant and they're always small, so I'll make a motion that we accept them as printed.
I'll second.
The only discussion I have to say is they're not always small because 17,000 for the Dollar General.
Yeah.
Legal. Yeah.
Well, I thought
Yeah, we didn't budget
Yeah.
enough for the Dollar General lawsuit, so I had to take that from a line that had money.
Yeah. Well, that was, I mean, that was an unanticipated expense that's gonna run us, I don't know, over 50 grand when it's all said and done, maybe.
Could be. I think we've spent over 30 already. So, hey, the people spoke. They said,
Yep.
they'll fight it. And so we did.
No, no, they were pretty clear.
So,
Okay.
yeah. So that's taxpayers' money spent the way they wanted it spent. So
Exactly.
All in favor of the budget?
Aye.
Aye. Unanimous, very good. Let's see, the next up, let's see, here's the holidays.
That's for executive.
Oh, that's for executive, okay.
Yeah, it's all personnel.
Oh, yeah, personnel stuff, yep, okay. All right,
I did have one thing under new business. I know the Center for the Arts was asking us to do an advertisement. I think we need a board vote to authorize that, don't we?
yeah, well, we should just anyway do it.
Yes.
We were gonna do a full page for, it wasn't that much, I don't believe.
It's 500.
Yeah,
We
yeah,
would-
I think I put in the email for the full page.
yep, all right.
Anybody?
Money well spent.
Do
one
we
of the
know?
reasons I moved to Homer for the Center for the Arts, so it helps the village. So
Yeah,
good thing. Not that I mean anything to anybody, but whatever.
You mean a lot to us, Ed.
Yeah,
Yes,
I
you
know. Yeah.
Give yourself some credit, Ed.
Do we have any designs for that? I think they're gonna need the graphic.
I would say maybe I can try to whip something up. It won't be anything exciting. I'll just have our logo and well wishes for the upcoming season and etc.
Put the mayor's badge on there.
Very official.
I think they need that by the 14th because I think that's when they're going to, that's when they need everything in by.
We need a motion.
Yeah, let's just do one.
I'll make a motion that we buy a full page ad for the Center for the Art.
All right, see Kevin seconds.
Yeah.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Unanimous. All right, good. All right. Yes, sir, Ed.
I got a letter from the Flower Club, I think, that donated like $700 or something that we need to probably make a motion to accept. Tanya, do you have any recollection of me handing that over to you guys?
I haven't seen it, but remember I've been at Disney and I haven't been there every day. I work at home today.
Okay.
I can look it up right now. If we did get that, we would need an acceptance. They did talk to me about that beforehand, and it was going to go right to the beautification committee expenses.
Right, and because they didn't know who to send it to, they sent it to me via the office. And of course, I turned it in and said, hey, thank them. Amy Simmerall was the one that was I guess she's the chairman. And so she sent it to me because she knows me from Rotary. And so I'd like to accept their gift. You can write in the number later, but it was quite a significant amount.
Yeah.
That's great. That's
Super.
very nice.
So I'll make the motion that we accept the gift from the Flower Club.
Is that the Homer Garden Club?
That probably could be.
Yep,
All
that's
right.
who it is.
Kevin seconds. All in favor?
Aye.
All right, unanimous.
And we'll send them a nice thank you letter, I hope. Dan or Tanya or somebody from the office.
Yep, we can do that. That's no problem.
Please do that. Thank you.
All right. Dante, do you have anything for us other than what we've talked about?
Nope, nothing for me. Happy New Year, guys.
Happy New Year, Dante.
Happy New Year to you also.
Comments from board members. Let's start with Kevin.
Just a couple things real quick. I've had some issues with water spikes and things like that. And I've had to do some paperwork. I'm trying to do a subdivision. Just what a great office staff we got.
We do.
So just kudos to them. While I'm on that subject, real quick, in the beautification thing, is Dan, is there any way we can start now with Grid notifying them of that? We'd like to put our flags up in correlation with the Main Street flags. and
Yeah,
keep 'em
sure.
up-
That's no problem.
Keep them up longer than last year?
We can always ask, yeah.
Okay, thanks. I think that's it.
Very good. Thank you, Kevin. All right, Patrick, what do you have?
So we've been, the code book revision committee took a break over Christmas. But we are to the point now where there are specific subsections that are going out to department heads and subject matter experts on their portions, and we'll divvy those out within the next month or so and get their feedback. The other thing too is, and this is just for the general populace, is I know last year we didn't do the ice skating rink because we didn't have enough cold weather. I was looking at the 10-day forecast and it looks pretty chilly. And I don't know if this is Phil or this is the fire department, but are the conditions conducive or not?
That definitely goes to Phil. It got pulled from the fire department because workers' comp won't cover them.
Okay.
Yeah, I can get somebody down there to pack that in. We would take a tractor down and run back and forth with it, and then I'll get together, get a hose or whatever from the fire company and see if we can't figure out something to get the water started on that.
I mean, is everybody in agreement that we should kind of look into that, or?
Oh, yes.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
We've been doing it for 50, 100 years. So.
Yeah. Although I definitely want to explore getting a temporary rink thing. A friend of mine uses one in his backyard and it's great. So.
Remember, I talked about this at one of our meetings in Binghamton, and we know somebody that lives down there, and they had like 3 or 4, and they were thinking about buying like 10 of them. And so maybe if it makes sense and we can get some monies and blah, 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 figure it out, we may add on and get one like number 11, save some money, and it'd be the same as there. So maybe parts and maintenance.
Is it the city of Binghamton that's doing it?
Yeah, city of Binghamton had them in their parks, and
okay.
And I've sent that out, and Zach has had it, and of course, none of that kind of stuff got put in CFAs, so we don't know. You might get some monies towards it, that kind of thing. So maybe next year we can, make our list for CFAs, and maybe we can all get ahead of that game where we missed it this year.
Well, this year was not a normal CFA season. It was very limited, the scope of what they funded.
Understand.
Yeah, we used to have one of those rinks themselves, but it didn't last a year.
No,
I mean yeah, the kids destroyed it.
Yeah, I think we'll have to get a better one that's, more industrial grade.
Yeah.
I would put it over at Kaleo Park. We have power. We can fence it off. It's got lights. It'd be a great spot to put in a reasonable rink.
No, what? You want to have it on the green. That's the whole.
Yeah. Well, you can do the water on the green, but here you got to have access to power to run the compressors and all that kind of stuff. So
we have access to power on the green.
There's power down there.
Oh yeah.
I've skated down there for years.
All right. Hey, just an idea.
That was all I had.
Okay. All right, Ed, since you're going, keep going. What else do you have?
When I talked to Fred about his ARP money, I'd like to talk to him. And I'm also going to go down and make an appointment with the new mayor of the city, because the city mayor has talked about getting a dog park. And so there's no reason for Homer to go it completely alone, because I have, and a bunch of other people have been trying to get a dog park forever. And so if the city's got ARP money, we have ARP money, the town's got ARP money, maybe even Cortland would throw in a few bucks. I don't know. Maybe we can all do it and have it kind of like, and even talk to the county. Maybe even though they didn't give us any of their ARP money. They gave it to charities, but this would actually help out the whole county, not individual cities. So it may be worth talking to, maybe not. So, hey, nothing ventured, nothing gained.
Yeah.
And there's grants for dog parks too, if you have the land and the area, because they cost about 50,000 to put up, because you got to fence it and have water and have a little shelter for the sun and that kind of stuff. And I recommend we did a swipe card that rec can do, and therefore anybody can use it, when they're in there, because they use their swipe card. And the dog's been vaccinated, and if there's any issues, they were there. You can even put up a surveillance camera, so if somebody has dog fights or throws poop around or something, you can always do it. So anyhow, it could be a fun thing.
Throwing poop around and having dog fights sounds like a good time.
I'm sure there would be dog fights sometime in a dog park. Hopefully not. Anyhow, over.
Got it. All right, Tim, what you got?
I just wanted to talk and mostly toward Phil here. Do we have a plan in place for putting the hoops back up come springtime?
Yep. As soon as weather permits, Tim, they will be up because the bases are all done. Everything's blacktopped. All we got to do is set the poles. It shouldn't take long at all.
Beautiful.
Just,
Yeah, I
get
couldn't
that
remember
first one
where.
built and the other three will go up, no problem.
Cool. I couldn't remember where we left off, and I've had a few folks reach out recently. So.
Yep, they're ready to go up as soon as we get the good weather to do it.
Thank you.
Did we get LED lights down there too?
We will be. That's they should be. Guth, the contractor, should be back in the village next week to address the lights that still aren't working and to look at the courts and give us a quote on that.
Good.
We still have.
Cal,
Yeah.
to get a quote on that, they still need pictures, and I
Yeah,
haven't
they need a picture of the
gotten any
courts.
conflict.
Yep.
Yeah, I emailed Zach. I'm sure he will when he sees it, but he's been a little busy, and I haven't gotten anybody else to take pictures at this point.
Okay.
And they need them before.
I'll go out tomorrow and get them.
Thank you, Dan. Okay. Anything else, Tim?
No, that was the biggest thing right there.
Very good. All right. We are going to have to go into executive session. Obviously, I let the cat out of the bag about a couple things, but it's personnel issues as per New York State Public Officers Law, Article 7, Section 105. But before that, I would open it up to any questions from the media.
Al, could I get a copy of Tanya's presentation and the garbage requirements emailed to me, please?
Yes.
Thank you.
Hurry up.
Tanya, can you send those to Don?
Oh yeah, no problem. I was sending him stuff anyway tomorrow for Homer News for our page.
Very good.
Okay. Thank you.
Any other questions from the media?
Kevin Smith here.
Hey,
Tanya, can you send me those documents as well, please?
Sure, I can do that. And
Great.
Zach just texted me. He's going to take pictures tomorrow.
All right, very good.
That's it for me.
Thank you, Zach.
Okay, so Todd, any questions before we go?
This is Kevin, actually, but no questions. Thank you.
All right.
I'm on Todd's computer. Thank you, though.
Got it. All right, no questions. Okay. All right, do we have a motion to go into executive, please?
I'll make the motion that we go into executive session as per New York State Public Officers Law, Article 7, Section 105, to discuss personnel issues.
All in favor?